Yes, and welcome back to the Ash Williams Show. My name is Ash Williams, and I am fired up. How the fuck are you? Hope you're well. Oh, who's on the guitar? Jeez, why didn't I prepare something? On the guitar is Osher Gunsberg, and he's playing Sans guitar. He's playing his cock. Wonderful sound out of the cock. Loving it, Osh. And on keyboard this week is Andrew G. Yeah. It's a wonderful counterbalance of sound to have the artist formerly known as Andrew G on the keys. Wonderful stuff there. I would love to see that band back in action. There's no Andrew G without a key. Oh dear. When I said Andrew G, I was thinking, where am I going to go here? And really pulled it out of the bag there. The sniffle update, light sniff. The forecast predicts light sniffles, very, very light, with a chance of wanking as usual. I do need to say too, straight off the top rope, today's podcast is being recorded within COVID regulations with social distancing in place. So I know that's a big concern for all of our listeners. But by the same token, it's not being recorded within Zika regulations. No. We are big Zika fans here. Speaking of Zika regulations, big shout out to Vika Bull, who has Zika, and she's also on Job Seeker. We love it. We love the Vika. But funnily enough, her sister, Linda Bull, is not on Job Seeker. So look, swings and roundabouts, as Osher always says. We need to get a text straight away to on the hotline 0406 284 954. Ash, when we do the Zoom call on Patreon, we have to set the world record for the largest simultaneous sip and get the Guinness Book of World Records on the phone now. We're definitely doing that, okay? So that is going on today at 4 p.m. on Patreon. Bring your beverage of choice. It's for all Patreon members, especially everyone in Victoria. We want to give them a cuddle, and we want to get intimate with them. You know what I mean? It's the circle jerk of Patreon, and we're proud of it. So if you want to get on board the world's largest simultaneous sip, go to patreon.com/Ash Williams Show. I'll be there. I might even be there with my niece. 4 p.m. today, Friday. We'll get the simultaneous sip going. And, of course, on Patreon, every Tuesday, we do the Black Market, which is everything I can't say on this podcast. I say behind the firewall of Patreon. And I've named some names in this one. And I know I say this a lot, but I could get into trouble for this. I was watching Media Watch with Paul Barry, and that cranky prick was talking about defamation. It scared me. It scared me a lot. So, look, I'm going to give you a tease of the Black Market this week. Here it is. Here's a bit of Mark Philippoussis scoopla. All right, this is for the Black Market. This is what this is for. I saw the poo in Melbourne, and I turned around thinking, like, who the fuck is making all this noise? And it's the big Scud missile in a back alley off Chapel Street going off his nut. Question here from Simon Martin. What are your memories of the reality show The Resort, hosted by Noiseworks' John Stevens? Now, look, I don't have many memories of this. I remember the logo. It was like a palm tree. And before I recorded this, I Googled The Resort, and there's nothing about it online. Like, nothing. There's a little Wikipedia page, and it says that The Resort, an Australian reality TV series, aired on Network 10 in 2004, hosted by John Stevens, set on a Fijian island. A group of hopeful renovators are given 13 weeks to transform the resort into a 3 to 4 star hotel. Oh my God. A 3 to 4 star hotel. That sounds like a place I want to stay. Is it 3 or 4? No, it's 3 to 4. Okay, thank you, sir. The series was axed after 6 weeks. The resort remains unfinished and is now likely to stay that way. The biggest problem with the show was that viewers could pay to fly to stay at the resort whilst it was being fixed up. Public demand was very low and the resort prices were quite high. That's funny. It's like the opposite of economics. Demand is low, prices are high. So this is a can't say who. So if you don't want to know the answer to this, please don't listen now. This is from No Name. Is the can't say who? I've knocked over a bottle of Banrock and about 15 overs into lockdown and I'm fired up. Well, you know what? I'm going to say, yeah, just keep this on black market. Yes, it is. Yeah, keep that to yourself. You want that, patreon.com/Ash Williams Show. Of course, the question for the free Gooch t-shirt this week was, what is Belvedere of Good Morning Australia? What's his real name? And, of course, the hotline rang hot. I mean, it almost broke the iPhone 4. The first text in was from Jane, and Jane says, "Hey Ash, Belvedere is officially known as Robert Mascara, the best name in the business. Send the Gooch shirt my way. And while you're at it, send me through a mug that you owe me. Fire the fuck up." I've added the fuck up. Fire up for the merch. MSN Jane. P.S. I'm fairly confident the keyboard playing in the intro is a posthumous performance by Jeff Harvey. Ah, Valet Jeff, what a wonderful beard he had. Yeah. Well, you get the Gooch t-shirt, Jane. That's easy done. Speaking of beards, I'm still a viral megastar in Hong Kong. Did a new video this week on Brett Sutton, who's the Chief Health Officer in Victoria, and about his new 3-day growth. Dr. Sutton, I'm loving the new 3-day growth. Why did you do it?
Human needs.
On the beard trimmer, what setting do you use?
It may even have been just above 1 or just below 1.
I believe you're now a Tinder Platinum member.
Now, in Victoria, is not a time where the app comes into its best use.
Yeah, you've got 24 hours to press the button or something.
It's always difficult to know, when you hit the button.
Mr. Andrews, I believe a lot of people are wanting to date Dr. Sutton.
There have been literally, we've lost count, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands, in fact.
I'm not surprised. Have you seen this? He used to model.
I wouldn't describe that as modelling. No one in charge of modelling has seen it.
Are you jealous?
Hang on a minute.
Then why are you calling an inquiry into his modelling?
I don't have answers that I am satisfied with. There are questions that cannot be answered, and the appropriate thing is to get those answers.
And finally, how are you feeling? You're not wearing your North Face jacket today.
This is not about my feelings.
Cheap wine and a 3-day growth. Cheap swine. Maybe cheap swine. Maybe we come up with a song. Cheap. Wow, yeah. It's a shame swine is not still around. Cheap swine and a 3-day growth. Yeah, maybe we'll fuck around with that. Could go well in Hong Kong. Got some brother updates. So, my brother's a medical doctor, right? I said to him a while ago, I said, listen, I want you to check out my moles. And he goes, oh, what are their names? Oh, and I go, I was so ready on the drums then. And I go, look, your moles. You fucking did a full thesis on moles and skins and stuff. And can you check out my moles? Mum wants you to. And he goes, nah. I go, what do you mean? You're a doctor. He goes, nah, I don't want that on my conscience. And I go, what do you mean? Just give us a once-over, man. Just check him out. If there's anything you're not sure on, I'll go to someone else. And he goes, nah. There's no way I'm having that on my conscience. I said, so what, you're just going to let me fucking go unchecked? That's on your conscience. And he goes, no. I said, well, what if I've got something? What if one of my moles is circumspect? He said, well, that's not on my conscience. So that just gives you an insight into the type of guy my brother is. He'd rather have me possibly die. I don't want to be too morbid than have anything on his conscience. Anyway, but I was in the Uber too the other day, and this was on Saturday, and I got picked up in this sweet Lexus, and I got in the back, and I go, mate, nice car. Yeah, he goes, yeah. I usually drive luxury, but it's really quiet on the roads today, so I'm just picking up normal people. And I go, what? What? Was that a verbal uppercut, dude? And I've gone, oh, well, look, nonetheless, I'm loving it. And he goes, sit back, relax, and enjoy a luxury vehicle. And I go, will do. And then every minute for the next 10 minutes, he asked me if I was comfortable. Are you comfortable? I go, yeah, man. You want some hand sanitizer? I go, no, dude. And then he put so much hand sanitizer on. I've never seen more hand sanitizer on a pair of hands in my life. It was like he put maybe definitely 100 mil. I was like, you're going to have to wipe that on your jeans. But somehow his hands soaked it up. Anyway, I digress. And so then he turns around to me and he goes, you enjoying the Lexus? And I go, again, yes. It's almost like I was doing an F1 lap with Lewis Hamilton. That's how fucking much cachet this guy thought this car had. And he's like, yeah, bit of fun, huh? I go, yeah, it's actually not. The way you're crapping on is fucking annoying. I'd rather be in a Toyota Corolla. And with some guy talking to his wife in hushed tones the whole time. You know those guys in the Ubers who the whole time they're on their phone and they're speaking so quietly you don't know if they're on their phone, but they're having a conversation while you're their passenger. Goodbye, mate. I was like, you're on the phone the whole time? It's fucking good effort. Anyway, I digress again. This is just a digression on digressions, but the Lexus dude has gone, just so you know, when I pick up normal passengers, they usually tip me because this is a luxury vehicle. And I'm going like, again, these Uber drivers with the fucking tips. Hey, Mad Dog, we're in Corona. You ain't getting shit because your chat was fucking awful. Also, he had no lollies, man. That's the bad thing about Corona. All the Mentos are gone. Missing those fucking orange Mentos. God, they were the days when you could just rip into fucking Mentos in the back of an Uber or even an Uber pool. You're in an Uber pool with some backpackers and you're just ripping into some Mentos. Whew. Now that's freedom. Fuck me. I remember I was in an Uber pool with 3 Brazilian backpackers and they stank. They really needed a shower, but it was a cheap ride. Yesterday at my apartment, I got locked out. And I've never done that before. And I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? But I knew the landlord, you know, my classic landlord who is always showing me the bins and showing me how to recycle, which, by the way, is going great. I figured out that everything goes in the trash. And so I find the landlord and this builder. And I go, guys, just the man I'm looking for. And they're like, what's up? And I said, listen. Made a bit of a joke. I said, listen, looking for a blowjob. No. And I said, no, it's all good. I've actually just locked myself out. And then they both at the same time pulled out a key, right? It was like they were pulling out a gun, like a Western, like it was a Western shootout. A Western shootout? Is that what it's called? Anyway, they pulled it out both at the same time. And I'm like, how many motherfuckers have got keys to my apartments? And then this other builder came running in and goes, do you need the master key? I've got one too. So there are 3 people with keys to my apartment. I'm like, how many people have got keys to my apartment? There were homeless guys running in off the street saying, do you need the key? I'm like, what the fuck? Let's get some text on the hotline, 0406 284 954. Hey, Ash, love the pod. Just quickly, is Bondi Mint actually a thing in Bondi? Also, can you call Millsy again? Cheers, Lauren. I don't know about Bondi Mint. I assume it's the Bondi version of the Mint that used to be on Channel 9. Hosted by Millsy. Is that where you're going with that? Has your brain gone from Bondi Mint to Millsy, which I think is a beautiful connection? Your synapses are healthy. And we'll call Millsy next week. Let's call Millsy next week. We'll get him on the show. Let's get another text. Everyone knows Belvedere's real name is Bert. I mean Bob. I mean, it's Robert. Fired up for the gooch. Rob, you're just a little bit too slow. And let's get a voicemail to round out the pod.
Hey Ash, Chris here from the head office in Canberra. Just calling just some ideas for the game show you mentioned on last week's episode of the Ash Williams show. The game show where you order the Uber Eats, pretending it's a game show hosted by Ian Turpie. You order the food and you got to have a shower and get out of the shower before the food arrives. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get menu log instead of Uber Eats, because Uber Eats have already got that Kim Kardashian crossover going with Magda Zabansky, and Menu Log have got that thing going with Snoop. So I think they're more the demographic that probably Ash Williams show is going for. So we'll go with Menu Log. It's not going to be a standalone game show. It's actually going to be a recurring segment on the Ash Williams show, like Rove Live, but on YouTube. So like an evening show, what do they call it, a late night show or whatever that you're going to do, but whatever in the future. And so there's going to be 3 contestants, and they're in their own homes, like when Rove used to cross live to viewers or something that show up with a camera. It's probably pre-filmed, whatever. Ours is going to be live. And there's going to be a hologram of Ian Turpie, rest in peace, hosting the segment. And he's our live cross. We'll cross live now to Ian Turpie. And because it's a hologram, we can have 3 of him. We can have 1 at each of the contestants' houses, Ian 1, Ian 2, and Ian 3. And wearing different coloured suits or whatever, or a big number tattooed on their forehead, whatever, it's a hologram. And they all have to order the same food from the same brand of takeaway, whoever we can get the most sponsorship money from. And then they jump in the shower and they have to do a proper wash, none of that 90-second army shower nonsense, and get properly clean, get dried off and all that. We'll do a split screen of all the 3 different Ian Turpie holograms in the bathroom of the contestant. And then we'll have an overlay down the bottom of their GPS of where the delivery driver is at with an ETA. And when the delivery driver gets there, they have to smell the contestant to make sure that they smell all right. Like if they haven't washed properly or if they didn't dry off properly, they lose points or they're disqualified. So the 2 people who don't win, the losers, are going to get a giant water cooler of Slurpee from 7-Eleven poured on them, freezing cold, and we'll call the segment Turpie's Slurpee. Anyway, fire up, make some noise. It's freezing here in Canberra, but the head office it's going all right. It's going good.
Thanks for the message. Okay. Thanks for the message, Chris. I've got to be honest, I really drifted off for a large part of that. I was having a conversation with my office landlord and I had a nap. And I came back for Turpie's Slurpees, which I'm guessing is the best part of the voicemail. So thank you for that. I'll go back to listen to that. We'll finish with one quick game we're going to do every week from here. It's called Predict the News. Now, the news now is so predictable, it's lame. And I'm going to predict next week's news. And you can get involved. This is what I think will happen this time next week. There will be, obviously, Trump. There'll be some fucking bullshit with Trump. There will be a new study for a vaccine that's coming out for COVID in 6 to 12 months. A rugby league player will have broken quarantine, and they'll also have another sex tape. There'll be bachelor gossip, what Lockie is really like. An ex-girlfriend will come out and say that he's a loser. And also there'll be a weight loss story from a celebrity who's lost weight. Someone like Rebel Wilson. Okay, that is a game we can all play. And that is the podcast, folks. I've got the landlord looking at me. I need to wrap this up. Of course, if you want to get involved with the world's largest simultaneous sip today at 4 p.m, go to patreon.com/Ash Williams Show. We're going to sip it hard. I'm going to have I'm actually going to have everything in there. I'm going to have the coffee, the pre-workout, and the cum. Yeah? The holy trinity of simultaneous sips. And, of course, on Patreon, you've got original Ash and Ed episodes. You've got photos of stories that will come full circle in your head. And, of course, you've got Black Market. I named the AFL player this week. Get involved. And most importantly, stay safe in Melbourne. And I'll talk to you on Tuesday or Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.